Live from the spectacular Garden Roots in South Africa. We're streaming worldwide on eradiosa.com.
Now being 2 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon, it is Travel Tuesday. We're joined by Rose, Travelbug Rose. How's it going this afternoon, Rose?
Oh, very well, thank you. And how are you, Ian?
I'm very well as well. That sounds weird.
I know.
Rose, wow, this is so cool. I mean, you went glamping recently.
Yes, I have recently been commissioned to do an article about glamping in the garden route. And so I decided I've looked at a few places and I kind of started looking around at what there is available and who does what, and didn't realize there was actually quite a few nice prospects in the garden route. And I still have to visit a few of them. But I'm working through them a little bit by little bit. So I'm trying to focus on each area and look at what they have to offer.
And
yes,
I was going to ask you, when was your last or your latest glamping experience? Was it over the weekend?
No, it was on. When was I? It was. I think I only posted the pictures later, but it was on last week, Tuesday and Wednesday. So last week, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was staying at Taniqua Treetops.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, and well, each kind of glamping place I've visited in the last couple of years, or in the last few weeks as well, have quite a unique experience for me. And that's what I'm trying to focus on, is that you don't just go and stay in a tent that is all fancy and you know, there's actually some heart behind it. There's something real behind it. So that's really what I'm focusing on. And you know me, I like details. And I like to be inspired by something as well.
So
and I decided that. Yes.
No, carry on.
No, so I've decided that each place that I visit has to have something unique to offer as well. That it's not just a bed and a place that you can light a fire. It's actually got a unique experience.
Now, Rose, I'm seeing you chilling is it a jacuzzi? Are you chilling there in a jacuzzi with some wine? Was that at Taniqua as well?
Oh, that's not a jacuzzi. No, that's a bathtub.
Oh, my bad.
That big fat bathtub, which is elevated and it looks out over the forest.
Nice.
And yeah, so it was lovely. I don't have a bath where I am, so I decided to glam in the bath a little bit, and I loved it.
Yeah, I hope you were relaxing a bit. I mean, you work hard. People think it's all glitz and glamour with you, but you actually work really, really hard.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I think for the last 2 weeks, I think I'm, where everybody else has weekends and things, I haven't had any rest. I've been at it, either traveling, writing, editing photos, and filling requests and trying to get projects going, and it's crazy. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So sometimes I wish I can have more hours in a day, and sometimes I'm just too tired to carry on.
Shame. But you're doing a good job, Rose. You're doing a good job. Just keep doing it.
I do love what I do, so I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't love what I do. So yes.
Yeah, no, that's evident.
Definitely, for sure.
But Rose,
Shall we?
Yeah, no, it's this WhatsApp call thing, man. I hate it. It is so bad. You talk to somebody and then there's like this delay, and then they start talking and then you start talking and then you crash all the time. You carry on. You've got the talking stick.
So I was going to talk about a few places in glamping in the garden. Shall I mention a few? Should I carry on and like tell you about a few that I visited?
Yes, please.
Okay, so in the last couple of weeks, as you know, I've been staying in a few places. And I must say, there's some of them I actually have stayed at, and there's some of them that I haven't stayed at yet. Now, I'm looking forward to it, especially in the Klein Karoo. I'm really looking forward to actually spending some time in the Klein Karoo in a glamping tent, because I think that would be bizarrely nice, especially if there's an open night with open stars.
Ooh.
I'm really looking forward to that. My first place I stayed the last couple of weeks was a place called Reflections Eco Resort, or Reserve, sorry. It's owned by Tim and Angelique Carr, and I was completely blown away about this place, because before Tim and them bought it, it actually was a pine plantation and had no indigenous forest, and it was basically overrun. And
Sure.
what they've done, the effort, they have rehabilitated that piece of land. If I'm standing to be corrected, but I think they started doing it in 2007, if I stand correct for what he's told me. And Ian, you have never, if you are a bird lover, if you are an insect lover, if you are a plant lover, if you are an archaeology lover, if you are anything lover, bush lover, I just was completely blown away. The bird species in that area is magnificent. I mean, I would just sit outside my tent and I could just spot birds as they came past. And the tents are on the Rondaflay lake as well, or close to the Rondaflay lake, which is really a beautiful sunrise, actually.
Sure.
And it's one of the few places actually in the Garden Route where you have a really cool sunrise. I must say, I was blown away by that. Some bird hides, and Tim took me through some walks in the veld. Did you know that at this reserve he actually has a midden? I think it's probably a couple 100,000 years old, or maybe close to 100,000 years old.
Sure.
And we were walking through the midden, or he was just showing me all these artifacts. I mean, these things are ancient.
Wow.
It's mind-blowing.
Sure.
And also the fact that Tim is such his birds and his knowledge of plants is magnificent. And it brought me back to the simple, nice things about Earth, like as in our heritage plants. We don't use enough of our heritage plants to cook and to use in our area. Wild rosemary, wild rocket, sarli, num num, all those little things that we can actually be putting and cooking with, instead of we buying a rocket from Woolworths, darling, that comes from Europe instead. So, on that regard, I really loved the fact that he's completely eco and the way that they handle it. And they came and had breakfast with me. They wanted to give me breakfast, but I said to them, no, please, can you come and have breakfast with me? And we had Angelique make some beautiful baked yogurts and fresh fruit and things that are like homemade Tim baked bread. It was really divine. So I was really blown away by Reflections. Well worth a visit if you're a bird lover. The best place to be, and Tim is a magnificent person to talk to as
Rose?
well. Yes.
Any interesting birds?
I did actually. For the first time in my life, I saw a female black cuckoo shrike, which is right in front of my tent. That was a first for me. So I photographed it. I did put it on my Facebook page, and I was like, "Whoa, this is a new." And we had an interesting sighting of a little sparrowhawk as well. And apparently, they're not endemic onto this area, so they might be just a little bit lost. Or I find that the longer I live in areas, find birds migrating further and further. Maybe loss of habitat, maybe change of climate, you don't know. So it's been very interesting. And then I had to go to the next place, because otherwise I'm not going to get through any of this.
Okay, let's go.
And of course, enough, I went and stayed at Taniqua Treetops. Taniqua Treetops, I've had a very intimate relationship with for a long time. I find it a very special place, and I went back there to stay with the new owners, with Taryn and Anthony, and lovely down to earth people, and they've really made some little subtle changes, but still one of the best places. And for those who want to know what Taniqua Treetops is, it's not a tree house. It's a treetop tent that is basically built in the top of the trees. But if you can imagine a slope, and then the tent kind of gets built into the top of the tent, and then you can stand on the balcony, you can see it fall away into the valley.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's literally just built into the natural forest. Once again, the forest life there is, just around you. In the morning, I was sitting there, and the luries were all around.
Oh.
And if you want to experience a Knysna, Tarako, or lurie as we know it up and close, it's definitely a place to go. The treetops, it's just the forest just has a different energy, completely different energy. Where Tim's place is so coastal, Taniqua is so forestal. So it's really, just go and hike there, go down to that river with a nice dark tan, and go take cozies, just chill on the balcony and just really breathe. It's got a beautiful energy, that place. So I love Taniqua Treetops.
Nice. Rose, how do you get up in the do you climb those trees, or do you have ladders, or how do you get up?
No, yes, you don't. So what I'm saying is the tree is actually built on the slope. So the entrance, you walk straight into the chalet.
Oh.
And then the chalet is built on the slope within the tree. So it's
nice.
almost like it's like you're starting at the top of the tree, and then it's built forward, and then it drops into the forest. So it's not in the tree. It's it's like part of the natural forest thing. So it's more like almost like a, I don't know how to explain it, but it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It's not a tree, it's not a tree house.
Yeah, I must be honest, I was always picturing a tree house, and I was a bit worried, what if there's a windstorm or something, and then I'll fall out of my bed into the forest, and then I'm lost.
Yeah, but if you're on your balcony, then you will see the forest. It's quite further below, but it falls away. But no, you have to go visit it. It's really going to have a look. So even if it's just to experience it, it's really, really gorgeous. Yeah,
I must.
Very special, the forest. Very special, the forest. And then I'm going to talk about a place that I've been stayed, that I've actually built a really good relationship with, and that is the AfriCamp group. The first AfriCamps I went to was in Robertson, and I met the owners there. And what a lovely idea! They've actually have partnerships with people who own accommodation, and they've built 2 down here on the coast in the Garden Route, and they've built 1 in the Kangaroo. And I'm really looking forward to going to experience the Kangaroo one. With AfriCamps. I think that's going to be really, really cool. Can't wait to do that. But there's one in Wilderness, and it's built. AfriCamps is Oakhurst, which is Oakhurst Farm, which is the dairy farm, and it's owned by Claire and Jake. And that's a completely different experience again. So it's a dairy farm, but you're on a dam, and you actually get, AfriCamps is this thing about they bring these little breakfast baskets for you if you want it, because all these places are self-catering. They bring these little baskets for you, and you've got all these little things inside. And it's so nice, but you can actually get your milk from the dairy, which is right there on their farm.
Nice.
So they've got, all your milk and things like I'm from the dairy, which is really cool. Last time I was there, I went and bass fished on the lake there. They've got a little paddle canoe boats on the lake, on the little dam there that you can go out and paddle. They've got horses that you can go ride, and of course it's all on the foothills and the farm hills and the 7 Passes Road, which is really lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, loved Africamps. If you love glamping, really really nice option to do as well. The other one I visited before as well was close to Ingwe, or is in Ingwe, which is called in Plettenberg Bay side. The most memorable thing about the Africamps in Plettenberg Bay was that not far away from it is Monkeyland and Birds of Eden, and also Jukani.
Ah.
It's the weirdest thing. You're lying in a tent and you can hear the lions roar. God.
Yo.
Or you can hear the howlers. Like, oh, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
wait a minute. It was, that was quite, for me, sound and travel. Obviously, sounds in the forest, the way it travels as well, over the valleys and things.
Yeah.
I should go back to Africamps and go and see what's in Plettenberg Bay and just see how things have developed there, because I think that was there shortly after it was built. And really lovely, Plet area on its own. I think what I did with when I stayed there is I also introduced a little bit of the wine route. So, Plet has got a very unique MCC Classique route, which is the Champagne inverted commas route, and the fastest growing bubbly route in South Africa. So yes, go and just stop at all the little wine farms, and it's not far from there, and go and take it all home and go and sit in front, make a fire, and go and enjoy it. It's definitely part of it. I would do that if I was glamping in the Plettenberg Bay route. Loved it. Yeah, and then as I said, the other one is in Oudtshoorn, which I'll be visiting shortly, and I'm looking forward to that. And then I'm just going to mention one more, and that is a little place between Wilderness and Sedgefield, and it's a place called Heritage. And it's a self-sustainable farm, and they've built these glamping tents as well. So if you are staying in this tent, everything in that place in Heritage is self-sustainable. They have their own chickens, they have their own little piggies, they have goats, they make their own cheese, they bake their own bread, they make their own bacon. It's just magnificent. So if you haven't stopped at Heritage Delhi, please do yourself a favor and go and stop there. And I'll be visiting their little glamping tents as well soon. I'm quite looking forward to that as well. That's kind of it's like a more sustainable place, or sustainable experience about living in a sustainable area or tent and experiencing it. Yeah.
Wonderful. Rose, you always describe these places so amazingly that it kind of feels like you're taking me with you. And then when you're done talking, I'm like, I snap out of it. I'm back. But it is wonderful. I love it. So thank you so much for sharing your glamping experiences with us. And never stop glamping.
No, definitely. I think it's probably most likely, if it's one of my most favorite traveling in ever, is definitely glamping. I just, I love camping, but I don't have all that options anymore. And glamping definitely is the next step. It gives you that freedom of still being in the open and still having that little bit of earthiness. Plus it has its tiny little luxuries. And sometimes those little luxuries are wonderful.
Yeah, always. Rose, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again next Tuesday. Who knows where you'll be then. Hopefully one day we'll find you in the sky, and then you can tell us what it's like while you're busy paragliding. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Take care.
You too.
And have a good day. Yeah.
You too, Rose. Thank you. Bye now.